Seeking the Dharma, the determined Marpa Lotsawa traveled over 700 miles to reach Master Naropa, encountering an enormous amount of hardship and danger along the way. His Holiness Marpa Lotsawa, vegetarian, remarkable Tibetan Buddhist master, part 1 of 4. Continue watching to find out more.
Greetings, noble viewers. I am Sonam. The friendly people of Tibet pray that your generous hearts continue to blossom in peace and contentment. Welcome to part 1 of a 4-part series entitled His Holiness Marpa Lotsawa, Vegetarian, Remarkable Tibetan Buddhist Master.
Dusam sonje thamchi ji Goma thamchi zao lama karte jamre jachin thop Rajar Marpa Lotse.
Marpa the Translator, or Marpa Lotsawa in Tibetan, is one of the most renowned saints in Tibetan Buddhist history. A great master and scholar, Marpa Lotsawa was a founding father of the Kagyu tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. He was a disciple of the great Indian Buddhist yogi, mystic and master, Mahasiddha Sri Naropa. Marpa Lotsawa brought many Vajrayana and Mahamudra teachings from India to Tibet and translated them into Tibetan. The venerated Tibetan yogi and poet saint Milarepa was his disciple. To find out more about Master Marpa Lotsawa, we have the pleasure of introducing Revered Khenpo Phuntsuk Dorje Lama, who has been teaching in the Paltilyak Monastery, Temple of 1000 Buddhas, for the past 20 years. Khenpo means guru, and only after gaining 12 to 13 years of Dharma knowledge does one become a Khenpo. We are honored to hear what Khenpo Dorje Phuntsuk Lama has to share about the great Master Marpa.
यो च्यानल हेर्नुहुने सम्पूर्ण दिदी बहिनी दाजुभाइ सबैलाई नमस्ते मेरो तर्फबाट। सो यो हाम्रो यो म बसेको यो गुम्बामा हाम्रो गुरु थियो, उहाँ चाहिँ 7 अवतार हुनुहुन्थ्यो। उहाँले यो स्थापित गरेको हो। यो गुम्बा बनिएर 37 वर्ष भयो होला। बौद्ध भित्र सर्कलमा सानो एउटा गुम्बा छ, त्यो चाहिँ लगभग 55 साल भयो होला। पछि गुरुले यो ठुलो निर्माण गरेर 100 जना लामालाई यहाँ ज्ञान ध्यान पढाइ शिक्षा दिनुको लागि यो ठुलो निर्माण गर्नुभएको हो। पछि यो चाहिँ कर्मपा, उहाँको 900 साल भयो, अहिले 17 अवतार हुनुभयो। उहाँको लिनेजमा हामी त्यसकै अन्तर्गत परिन्छ। हाम्रो सर्वश्रेष्ठ गुरु चाहिँ मार्पा हो। मार्पाले यो लिनेज चाहिँ सुरुवात गर्नुभएको थियो। उहाँको चेला मेलारेपा, उहाँ मेलारेपाको चेला गम्पोपा। यो हामीले यसलाई चाहिँ सुप्रिम सर्वश्रेष्ठ तीन गुरु, 3 मूर्ति मानिन्छ। टिबेटमा 4 किसिमको हाम्रो स्कुल छ। एउटा सबैभन्दा पुरानो निङमापा, निङमा भनेको ओल्ड स्कुल भन्छ। त्यसको पछि हामी काजुपा भएको, मार्पा भएको, त्यसको पछि साक्यापा, त्यसको पछि गेलुकपा। गेलुकपा चाहिँ अहिले दलाई लामाको उहाँको परम्परा हो। हाम्रो यो चाहिँ काजुपा भन्छ। गुरुले स्वयं दिनुभएको ज्ञानलाई काजु भन्छ। काजुपा, काजु भनेको चाहिँ डाइरेक्ट उहाँको शब्द लिएकोलाई काजुपा। अन्त त्यो चाहिँ सुरुवात कसले गर्नुभयो? मार्पाले गर्नुभएको छ। मार्पा लोत्सावा भने चाहिँ उहाँ चाहिँ ग्रेट मार्पा भन्छ हामीले। उहाँ चाहिँ एउटा धेरै नै ज्ञान, धर्म ज्ञान, आध्यात्मिक धेरै ठुलो सिद्ध प्राप्त गर्नुभएको। तर एउटा उहाँ फेरि धेरै विद्वान पनि थिएछ। लोत्सावा भनेको चाहिँ अनुवाद गर्ने ग्रेट ट्रान्सलेटर भन्छ। मार्पा ग्रेट ट्रान्सलेटर। उहाँले ट्रान्सलेट गर्नुभएको छ यो बुद्ध भगवानको ज्ञान। अहिले हामीले कान्जुर भनेर 108 भोल्युम छ। त्यसमा उहाँले गर्नुभएको एउटा मुख्य पनि छ, 3वटा भोल्युम छ। त्यो पनि अहिले बुद्ध भगवानले दिनुभएको मेन ज्ञानको गन्तीमा गनिन्छ त्यो।
Born Tharma Wangchuk in Lodrak Chukir, southern Tibet, to wealthy landowners and farmers, Master Marpa was the youngest of 4 children. He was a very energetic child. In the hopes of curbing his overactive behavior, his parents decided to assign him to a dharmic training. Formal education began at 12 years of age, and the young Marpa was given his Buddhist name Choki Lodro, meaning intellect of Dharma. Master Marpa's father encouraged him to travel far into western Tibet to begin his Dharma training. Around the year 1054, Marpa went to the Nyugu Valley Monastery to study with its founder, the acclaimed scholar Drokmi Lotsawa. Drokmi had successfully traveled to India to study Buddhism and returned a well-learned man. With Drokmi, Marpa learned literary Sanskrit and became fluent in several Indian dialects. In exchange, Marpa gave what wealth he had to Drokmi Lotsawa and stayed there for 3 years. These years laid the foundation for his training as a Lotsawa or translator. Wonderful viewers, we'll continue this blessed story after a brief message here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to His Holiness Marpa Lotsawa, Vegetarian, Remarkable Tibetan Buddhist Master, Part 1 of 4. In all his biographies, Marpa Lotsawa is depicted as uninhibited, direct, determined, and would go to great lengths to get and do whatever he wanted or needed to do. When he realized the Dharma was precious, he sought it wholeheartedly. To obtain the Dharma, he had to make long and dangerous trips to India, against the wishes of his parents and relatives. Master Marpa converted his possessions into gold to support the journey. On his initial trip to India, he had to travel over 300 miles or 482 kilometers to Kungthang in western Tibet, crossing many plains and mountains, including the Palmo Paltang Plain and Kala Chela Pass. Along the way, Marpa met the translator Nyo of Karak, who invited him to travel as his servant so they could share their gold. Upon arriving in the mountains of Nepal, they encountered a ritual feast hosted by 2 of Mahasiddha Sri Naropa's students, Chitharpa and Pendapa. They had also come to give a Dharma discourse and gave Marpa a great deal of valuable Dharma and language tuition. When Marpa reached Kathmandu in Nepal, he stayed at the Buddhist site of Swayambhu to acclimatize himself to the dramatic change of altitude and climate.
अहिले नेपालमा पाल्नु हुँदा उहाँ 31 इयर्स भएको थिएछ। उहाँले सर्वप्रथम नेपालमा पालेर अहिले हो भने सेतो मचिन्द्रनाथ भएको काठमाडौँको त्यो वरिपरि कहीँनिर त्यहाँ बसोबास बसेर नेपालको गुरु तान्त्रिक बुद्धिस्ट गुरु दुईजनासँग भेटेर उहाँले ज्ञान लिनुभएको रहेछ। त्यो गुरुको नाम पाण्डिया भन्ने एउटा थिएछ, एउटा चिथार्था भन्ने 2 जना थिएछ। उहाँले यहाँ आएर नेपालमा 6 महिना बसेर सुरुवात सिक्नु भएछ। पछि त्यो गुरुहरूले तपाईँ पनि इन्डियामा जाउँ भन्दाखेरि फेरि इन्डियामा 2 पल्ट पाल्नु भएको, नेपालमा 3 पल्ट, इन्डियामा 2 पल्ट पालेर सम्पूर्ण ज्ञान लिएर इन्डियामा त 12 वर्ष उहाँले बसोबास गरेर त्यहाँको नारोपा भन्ने चाहिँ इन्डियामा नालन्दा युनिभर्सिटीको त्यति बेला गुरु हुनुहुन्थ्यो। उहाँको प्रोफेसर खेम्बो, म जस्तै खेम्बो भनिन्छ, हुनुहुन्थ्यो। उहाँ समूह बसेर उहाँसँग उहाँले 12 वर्ष सम्पूर्ण ज्ञान लिएको।
Master Naropa was also a Mahasiddha and a very accomplished scholar. His guru was the venerated Tibetan enlightened master Tilopa, who was considered a Mahasiddha, the embodiment of the highest realization of the Vajrayana teachings. Master Tilopa began his Buddhist training as a monk and spent 12 years in strict meditation. He was the forefather of the Kagyu lineage, and the Kagyu teachings were passed down to Masters Naropa, Marpa, and Milarepa. It is said that Master Tilopa received transmission directly from Buddha Vajradhara, the primordial Buddha. Master Naropa underwent tremendous physical hardship, performing the actions his guru asked of him. After 12 years of hardship, Naropa's pride and ego were completely erased, and he attained complete realization. Master Naropa established himself at Pulahari and began teaching at the local university, which is where Marpa met him. To reach Master Naropa, Marpa Lotsawa traveled over 700 miles. He endured an enormous amount of hardship, facing famine, dangerous creatures, bandits, and rickety bridges along the way. Master Tilopa had prophesied to Naropa of Marpa's visit to India and his worthiness as a disciple. Therefore, Naropa immediately welcomed Marpa to assume the role of his future lineage holder. Marpa was given abhisekas. An abhiseka is a ritual ceremony by which the guru enters the disciple into the mandala or sacred world of the guru, and it gives empowerments to practice certain Vajrayana teachings and oral instructions. Master Marpa was also sanctioned with the Hevajra, a yidam which serves as the enlightened manifestation of his basic being. It was a vivid representation of his own enlightened nature. Marpa took a vow called Samaya to commit himself with great trust and devotion to Master Naropa, who compassionately guided him through his practice. Such is the dedication and commitment of a true master, and we look forward to finding out more with the knowledgeable, revered Khenpo Phuntsok Dorje Lama as we follow the path of the venerated, enlightened Tibetan master Marpa Lotsawa. It's been a pleasure to have you, our noble viewers, with us today. Join us again on next Sunday, January 19th, for His Holiness Marpa Lotsawa, Vegetarian, Remarkable Tibetan Buddhist Master, Part 2 of 4. Coming up next is Vegan Delicacies to usher the Lunar New Year from Singapore, Part 1 of 2. Longevity Red Turtle Cake, Angu Kueh, and Fragrant Pan-Fried Radish Cake, right after noteworthy news, here on Supreme Master Television. May all beings be inspired to walk the path of harmony and Buddhahood.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/ls.